2:28 on the clock. I'm afraid we'll have to wrap it up right here on the show, but we have Tanveer here in the studios, and it's going to be an exciting last hour of trade on closing trades.
Just doesn't seem like it was just yesterday that we had the dramatic election outcome hit the markets hard, because the markets seem to be very normal today. So they've put it past them. Thanks very much, Avan, for that. Stepping into the last hour of the session, let's dive straight into more earnings. Bhavdeep Singh, CEO of Fortis Healthcare, joins us to analyze their numbers. Bhavdeep, good to have you on the show. Your revenues have grown over 10% in Q2. What led to the revenue growth?
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. We're very pleased actually. Both our hospital business and diagnostic business, SRL, have done exceptionally well. So Fortis Healthcare and SRL reporting gains of revenue gains of 11%, and I think quite honestly, this is just about good clinical excellence. Our continued focus on patient care, our investment in medical equipment technology, bringing in some of the top doctors. We continue to open up new diagnostic labs, collection centers, and I think as we've been saying over the last 2-3 quarters, the investments we've made, the diligence in terms of our strategy, putting our plans in place, and just having some of the best, absolutely the best doctors, the best nurses, pathologists, diagnostic technicians. I think it's all coming together and bringing a nice story together for all of us.
Right. Is this revenue growth sustainable? Is this the kind of run rate that you hope to see going forward as well? The street believes the growth in Fortis Hospitals business will come by improving occupancy at existing hospitals and also the expansion plans that are there on the anvil. Could you throw more color on what the picture would look like on that front?
Yeah, absolutely. The revenue, as you just mentioned, we've grown by double digits, 11%, and our forecast, as we've been talking for quite some time now, is that we believe that double-digit growth, low double-digit growth, is certainly very much in the cards. The reality is that many of the things that we're doing are just starting to come together now, and so I do think that the growth is sustainable. Ultimately, when you look at the hospital business, occupancy is where everything starts with that, and we've recorded some very high occupancy numbers, north of 80%. You'll know that the industry generally is 5 to 7 points behind that. So I think we're very pleased with the occupancy numbers. I think the best part of the story, as I talk about patient care, is that this is across the board. We operate in South India, we operate in the West, we operate in the East, we have a strong presence in NCR and obviously in Punjab as well. And our occupancy numbers are strong everywhere. And I think that speaks to the quality of patient care that we're providing. The country went through some challenging times, especially in the north with dengue, with chikungunya, and that's challenging for anybody to go through. And again, I think that our doctors and nurses did a wonderful job, and occupancy numbers were good. We were able to help diagnose and treat many people. And I do see these numbers continuing. I see the growth numbers continuing. I see the occupancy continuing. And I think, again, the clinical excellence part, the patient part, is what makes it all happen. So yes, very encouraged, and certainly believe that it's all sustainable, and will continue as we go forward.
Right. What about bed additions, and how many would you add over the next few years? Also, any acquisition plans as far as the inorganic growth route is concerned?
So we operate today. We operate about 4,000 beds today, and one of the things we've said is that we believe that brownfield growth, in other words, growth within the four walls of Fortis Healthcare, and being able to add beds within the existing enterprise network we have is very. So I see that 4,000 number over the next few years becoming 7,000-8,000 beds, north of that even. So I think that annually as we go forward, depending on the hospital, the location, I think anywhere between 10, 15, up to 20% bed growth is very much possible. We're doing this through, as I mentioned, the brownfield piece. We have a fantastic O&M program through management contract, and I think that some of that's going to fuel our growth as we go forward. So as an example, the Gurgaon Hospital, FMRI, Fortis Medical Research Institute, today we're operating 300 beds. This hospital will become, over a period of time, 800-900 beds. Our Banagata Road Hospital in Bangalore, we're going to be adding 150-200 beds there. So across the board, across our network, we have the ability to add beds, and which will certainly drive some of the growth, and again continue to drive the occupancy numbers, the revenue numbers, and obviously the resulting bottom line.
closing comments from you. You know, we had a very frank chat with one of your counterparts in the morning, a listed counterpart, and the view coming from Narayana Hyderale is that 40% of the existing business for Indian hospitals is in cash. So they expect that the business could suffer because of the black money crackdown. What do you think would be the status at Fortis?
Listen, we're all getting impacted, right? All you have to do is drive down any road in India, drive by a bank, and you'll see the numbers of people waiting outside trying to get some cash. So there's clearly going to be an impact. Sitting back, listen, we applaud the move, and we certainly think that what's good for India is good for us, and we believe that very strongly. Having said that, there will be some impact. I mean, at the end of the day, because you do have 40%, as you mentioned, you have a chunk of business that is done through cash. There's going to be an impact, but I don't think it's going to be a long-term impact. Certainly, I think as the economy and the banks stabilize, because this caught everybody off guard, as we all know, and I think a little bit of normalization time will come. But I don't, if you ask me, do I think there's going to be an impact 6 months from now? Highly unlikely. I think it might, again, over a period of next few weeks, might be a little bit of normalizing. Certainly, that's going to happen to all of us in terms of how we how we spend, where we spend. But listen, the long-term outlook stays very positive, and we continue to be very bullish about where we are and where the business is headed.
Okay. Mr. Singh, appreciate your time and good luck for coming quarters.
Thank you very much.
680 points up for the Bank Nifty. What happened to the Trump sell-off? Well, sometimes these straight line correlations don't work in the